Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is in partnership with Tails.com and I want to talk to you about how animals can help autistic people. I'm going to speak from my own experiences because I am only one autistic person and I can't be generalising about all autistic people. Some autistic people really don't like animals and that's fine too. So as regular viewers will know, I am a service dog partner. I have pets and I ride regularly. I'm going to start by talking about my experiences as an assistance dog partner. I'm going to interchange the terms assistance and service dog because assistance dog is the UK term for a dog that works with a disabled person and service dog is the American term for a dog that works with a disabled person, and I have viewers in equal amounts from both of those places. So my assistance dog Coco is an owner trained dog, which means that I started training her when she was 18 months old and she's been working with me for about 5 years now. I work with an organisation who have helped me with that process and they help to support me, but I have done the work on my own. This has been a really brilliant experience, but another route to getting a service dog is through a private organisation who you pay to train a service dog, or a charity who will train a service dog by, being a charity, getting money to do that service and then passing the dogs on to disabled people. In many ways, this can be an easier route because the dog is going to be probably trained by somebody else and you're not going to have to do the work of doing that. The things that working with an assistance dog has given me is independence, first of all. Prior to having Coco to work with, I was having to ask my husband to take time off work whenever I needed to go anywhere that wasn't really familiar. So we're talking hospital appointments, work trips. I travel quite a lot for work, and any social occasions that weren't just visiting friends that I'd visited all the time. He would have to take time off work or take time out of his schedule to come with me. And since working with Coco, I've been able to travel to my own hospital appointments, travel to my own work commitments. I've travelled to London on my own, I've travelled all over the country, I've been to parties, I've been to theatres, I've been to cinemas in a way that I couldn't before I was working with Coco. So that's been the main kind of thing that Coco has given me. And the ways in which she gives me this independence is that there is firstly something really comforting about being out in the world with a dog. It gives me something to focus on. It means that I'm not thinking about all the chaos that's going on around me. It distracts me basically from how anxious I feel about being out in the world. And she can also help with some particular tasks. So she can perform a task called deep pressure therapy, which is where she lies on my lap and her weight causes chemicals like serotonin and oxytocin to be released, which cause me to feel relaxed. There are other tasks that service dogs can perform, like they can do a task called blocking, which is where when an autistic person finds being in crowds overwhelming, their dog can stand in front of them and give them sort of a barrier between them and the very crowded situation. Some dogs are trained to lead their partners out of crowded situations or stressful situations, and just the act for most autistic people of working with a service dog can be incredibly comforting and reassuring. I'm going to have some news on my assistance dog experience coming soon, so keep an eye on the channel to hear that. It's quite exciting, but I'm not allowed to talk to you about it yet. My dog Coco is really special to me because she works as my assistance dog, supporting me throughout my day. From going with me to important appointments to snuggling on the sofa with me to watch TV, she is my best friend, so her diet needs to be as special as she is. That's why I subscribe to Tails.com. Tails.com is a handy, flexible subscription service, and the best bit is that the food is 100% tailored to my dog's age, breed, lifestyle and taste buds, so I know she's getting the right nutrition. Coco gets really excited at dinner time. She's very well trained, so she waits patiently, but she can't resist a little tail wag and a sniff of anticipation, and I know that inside she's doing her own little dinner dance. It's easy to keep Coco healthy with the provided personalised meal plan and portion control scoop, knowing that her meals are complete, tailored nutrition created by vets and nutritionalists. Hit my link in the description to get 1 month of free dry food and 50% off wet food and treats from Tails.com. The next aspect that I found really beneficial for me as an autistic person in terms of experiences with animals is riding. So I started riding with Riding for the Disabled 18 months ago, and I have wanted to ride my entire life. For some reason, as a small child, I loved horses and I was just obsessed with them. I mean, I had horse posters on my walls. I got this magazine called Horse and Pony every week. All I wanted to do was be around horses, but it was just not really financially achievable for my family at that time. And I never in a million years thought that at the age of 44 years old at the time, I was going to take up riding. But my daughter was riding for the disabled, and they had suggested I put myself on the wait list, and I waited for, 3 years on the wait list, and I had my first lesson 18 months ago. And since having that first lesson, I have actually just very recently, about a month ago, competed in the regional Riding for the Disabled championships in dressage, and I qualified and came first in my category, and I will be competing at the national championships in July, which is like insane. At my age, that's now what I'm doing. But in terms of the benefits for me as an autistic person for riding, like, I can't overemphasize, first of all, how much calmer and happier I feel when I've spent half an hour riding a horse. It's like all of my problems are gone. I am entirely focused on riding. I am not thinking about anything else. And there might be a reason, like a scientific reason, that I get this feeling. So basically, it has been documented that being around horses changes human brain patterns, and we respond by being more calm. I think, and this is the bit that's not, like, I haven't quite fully researched, but I have read a bit about, that basically horses are a pack animal, right? And what they do is they give out signals to each other as to whether there is danger nearby, and that's how they keep themselves safe. So if there's something going on, the whole pack responds and runs away. But if everything's fine, the vibe that's being given out is we're fine, we're safe, we're calm. So if you're with a horse that feels fine and safe and calm, you kind of become part of that electromagnetic field, however it works, and you feel better. And I'm telling you, it is like magic. It's really, really good. The other thing that I get from riding is a great deal of confidence. I never thought I would learn to ride, let alone learn to trot, let alone learn to do dressage. And being able to learn these skills has given me confidence. I've also become part of a community where I feel welcome and accepted, and I get like a social interaction every week when I go riding, but not one that's too intense, because we're also riding and we're focused on that. And the other thing that I would say from my experience is that people involved in the horse community just tend to be a little bit more direct. You kind of have to be, because you're around an animal that you need to respect and you need to be careful around. And they just tend to be more grounded, like countryside-y type people who are just more direct, less superficial social stuff, and more calling a spade a spade. And I just feel more comfortable in that environment as an autistic person. And the bond that I've built with my horse that I ride, at the end of every week I get off and I stroke her on her nose, and at first she wasn't that into that, and now she usually leans into that, and that's just really uncomplicated, a bond with someone uncomplicated, and that feels really nice. So yeah, riding is just really, really important to me now, and I would definitely recommend it for anyone who's given it any kind of thought at all in terms of mental wellness. And the final thing I want to talk about is pets. Not everybody can access a service dog, not everyone can go riding, but a lot of people can have a pet in their house, whether that's a cat or whether that's a fish or whether that's an African land snail. And pets can be really beneficial for autistic people too. I have a cat who is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to put a picture of him up here now so you can see him, because I want to show him off because he's gorgeous. First of all, I think that the responsibility of having a pet is really useful, especially if you might be in a period of burnout or anxiety or depression, because you have to get up and feed your pet. You have to care for your pet. You might have to walk your pet. You might have to groom your pet. And having that responsibility that you have to do for someone else is really kind of helpful. It creates a routine and it keeps you going. You might be having a bad day and you might not want to get out of bed, but you've got to get up and feed your cat. Some pets, if you've got a dog, or some people even with cats, might walk them, and that gets you out of the house and it gets you out into nature, and it might cause some social interactions if that's something that you want. Relationships with pets can be more straightforward than relationships with humans. Pets don't subscribe to neuronormative social standards. They don't use metaphors. They don't use passive aggression. They're very straightforward. They love you in a very straightforward, uncomplicated, unconditional way. If you provide them with what they need and you're considerate and respectful of them, chances are they will build a bond back with you. And that's a really lovely thing for autistic people. Pets can be a really great conversation starter, something to talk about if you don't know what to talk about, like when you've gone to your doctors or your dentist or your hairdressers. And for some people, they can even become a special interest. Like, I have this thing with dogs because I have a service dog who obviously lives with us, where I am obsessed with knowing what breed every dog is. And if I see a dog out in the world, I need to know what breed it is. I end up researching the breeds. I'm now like quite knowledgeable about dog breeds. So for some people, it can also give you that like monotropic focus where you can just get really, really into a subject and like enjoy the autistic joy that brings. And then finally, another little bit of science. It has been proven that stroking animals can reduce cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and it can increase oxytocin, which is the loving, bonding, lovely feeling hormone in your body. So just generally will make you feel good. So I can't say I've ever stroked an African land snail, but if you've got the kind of pet that you would stroke, that can be a really lovely thing as part of the benefits of pets as well. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I just want to remind you to sign up and subscribe to Tails.com for your subscription pet delivery service. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.